D-Schmidty, episode 116.
116, baby. Back in the booth.
Of the Bowfishing Buzz, brought to you by
AMS and MegaMouth Bowfishing, both family-owned businesses, proudly made in the USA, built tough, built by bowfishers, and trusted by shooters across the nation.
From reels and bows to arrows and accessories, AMS and MegaMouth have you covered. Take the fight to invasive fish with American-made bowfishing muscle.
From first shots to big wins, AMS and MegaMouth help make memories on the water that last a lifetime. Also sponsored by Efficiency Bowfishing Lights by Outdoor Innovations USA.
Absolutely.
And, of course, a special thank you to our sponsor, N Designs Leatherwork and Embroidery.
Absolutely.
As you guys can see if you're watching the video version of the podcast here. Matt and I got some new shirts on. What's that say right there? Bowfishing Buzz Podcast?
Show
What
them
does
the back. Show them the
look
back,
like?
Schmitty.
What?
Wow.
Is that you and me riding carp like they're bulls?
Bareback.
Absolutely. Some amazing shirts that... N Designs made up for us. Just absolutely beautiful.
Yes, they are. They're awesome.
They fit nice. They're a nice quality on them. They fit me.
Right.
We're both tall.
Yeah.
They fit beautifully.
Yeah.
They're not short
They're not
like
short
a
on
traditional
you.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. These T-shirts are not available to order. But what we will do is if we have you on as a guest, if you participate in the podcast, give us a topic to discuss, and we discuss it. Next week, Matt, you said that we're going to make some social media posts saying, hey, guys, we got some things we want you guys to send in to us so that we can talk about on the pod.
Right.
Maybe you'll just get a free T-shirt.
Yes.
These are a limited run of these. We got some T-shirts in, and they were just for podcast purposes only. So we are very excited.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do, Schmitty, is we're going to ask our guest, what is your bowfishing resolution for this year?
Absolutely, yeah.
What is one of your goals? What would you like to do? What kind of fish would you like to travel to different states to shoot?
Yep.
Maybe compete in a big tournament.
Absolutely. Maybe you want to beat your fellow coworker in a bet that you have going on, or something of that sort. You know, you never know.
Yes, and if we play your video in the next podcast, you're going to get the Bowfishing Buzz T-shirt.
Absolutely. We'll give you a free T-shirt. That'll be awesome. We'd love to have you guys have those on. And it's just a little bit of a thank you for listening and helping us, come up with some topics to talk about on the podcast. That'll be awesome.
Absolutely.
That'll be awesome.
So, Schmitty, we've got some big changes coming to the AMS Big 20 this year.
Yep.
First place drops from $10,000 to $7,500.
Exactly. And we will tell you guys exactly why we are going to do that.
Bingo.
Okay.
Bingo.
Matt, what else we got different with the Big 20 this year?
We're going to change up that buff limit. In the past tournaments, you could weigh in up to 10 buffs, big mouth or small mouth, with your Big 20.
We'd be up there at the scales. You guys have buffs weigh in? Yes, you do. We'd sit there. We'd count out your 10. First, you'd give us your big buff because it was a category fish. That would go into your Big 20 weight, and then we would count out the remaining 9 buffs if you had one that you already weighed in for the category. And we're going to drop that to 5 this year.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Wanted to give everyone a nice heads up about that.
Yes. And I think that's going to change up. We'll get into that.
We will. We'll get into that payout and the buff later in the podcast.
Yep.
Matt, we've got a very special guest joining us.
Yes.
Would you care to tell all of our listeners who will be joining us via telephone on this episode 116 of the Bowfishing Buzz?
The man behind the Mega Rex bow,
the Mad Genius,
G-Rex bows, Nat, G-string bowstrings, Joey Greenwell.
Yep.
Joining us today on the Buzz.
He's going to take a break from building bows down in Seabury, Kentucky. He's going to give us a call. We're going to rack his brain. We're going to talk about the Mega Rex, what all went into it, the relationship that we have, how we met, the whole 9 yards. You're going to get a very cool,
in depth.
Absolutely. We're going to get detailed on this with him, and I cannot wait to, 1, just talk to him again, and 2, just kind of dive into who Joey is.
Yeah.
Something that I'm going to draw as a comparison for this, Matt.
Okay.
Yep. We had Tim Marinas on a year ago, maybe 2 years ago.
At least, yeah.
Tim told us about the uprising, the birth of the MegaMouth reel.
Right.
Okay? Everything that went into that. This will be the Mega Rex version of that podcast with Joey.
Right.
So that should be pretty fun to do.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have to twist his arm a little bit because, as you know, Joey doesn't like the cameras in his face. He doesn't like to, doesn't like to discuss stuff. He's not much of a talker, I guess, a little bit. So we're going to have to twist him a little bit because he's more of he just wants to do his stuff.
He wants to build badass bows.
Yeah.
That's what he was put on this earth to do, and he is doing it.
You know, he doesn't like all the camera stuff and the social media stuff, but we're going to have to twist his arm a little bit. But looking forward to having Joey join us for sure, Schmitty.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you what, Matt.
Oh, boy.
Since our last podcast, you and I have been doing some traveling. You were gone 2 weeks ago. I was gone last week. You just want me to dive into what we were doing down there?
Sure.
We were doing some buying group shows.
Yes.
I was down in Phoenix for a show, 3-day show. I will say this, weather was beautiful down there. Only, like, I always get this, I should say. People are like, oh, you're so lucky you get to go to Phoenix in February. It's like, yeah, it's cool, but you sit in a booth for 10 hours each day.
Yeah.
You fly down there the day before, you set your booth up, you sit in a booth for 3 days, and then you hike back home. You got to fly back home.
Yep.
It's not like we're out on a beach somewhere out in the sun enjoying ourselves.
Right.
You know, but it was very nice. I did have just a small little story here. Landed in MSP from our local little airport here in Mosinee, Wisconsin. Tiny, you get a little puddle jumper and you're in MSP in 40 minutes. But then MSP connects you to the whole world, you know. So I'm sitting there, I go and I find my gate. Okay, good to go. I got about an hour left before we board. And it was a gate where there was 3 different gates down at like the end of one of the terminals. You know, so there's 3 different groups of people getting ready to go on a plane, so it was very crowded, lots of people. So I usually just go find my gate, and then I go and I find a little place to sit or eat or whatever that case might be. And all of a sudden over the PA in the whole airport, I hear, Derek Schmidt, please report to the Delta desk. Derek Schmidt, please report to the Delta desk. I'm like, what is this going to be about? So I go up there, and she says, excuse me, sir, there's an older couple here, and they were wondering if, because you have the window seat, if you could board first, and then we could have them go in just because it'll take them a little bit of extra time to get in there. And I'm like, absolutely. That is no problem whatsoever. And they were very thankful. They're sitting there, and they're, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then the lady she goes, all right, we'll have you board in roughly 10 minutes. I'm like, whoa, I'm looking at the here it's 50 minutes until we board, and I was in zone 7. If you know, so you're like one of the when you're in zone 7, you're one of the last people to board. Well, now I'm going to be the first person on the plane. So I get on the plane, and they bring people in. They bring the old couple in, and they sit down. They were very sweet, sitting there talking to me. Oh, how tall are you now?
Boy.
Then they're sitting over there whispering, I have to ask, are you single? Are you single?
Wow.
I said, nope, I got a girlfriend. Okay. How old
you got a girlfriend. How
old are you? I said, 28 years old. Well, why aren't you married yet? I said, well, I'm just, asking me all these questions.
Like your grandma was sitting right next to you.
That's really what it was like.
Yeah.
But there's no rhyme or reason to the story. The only thing is it was a 3.5-hour flight down to Phoenix. From the time that I got onto that plane and planted my butt in the seat till the time I lifted it off that seat to get off the plane was 5.5 hours. So it just, it took a lot longer. I was on that plane for probably an hour and 10 or 20 minutes before we took off. And by the time we got up, I got up and I could hear my back just go. It sounded like a door hinge. I'm like, oh man,
that's a bummer.
That hurts. But yeah, other than that, it was good. Everything was fun. It's good to talk to our dealers. And
absolutely.
It was a good time.
I landed the night befto could set up. So I got to the hotel around 11:30 at night.
Yeah,
it was all dark. Downtown late. Oklahoma City. Go to my room, unpack my clothes, watch a little TV, go to bed. I had the drapes closed in my motel room, and at like 7:30 in the morning, I hear beep, 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 and it's like I'm like, what the heck? I get up and I go over to my big window and I open it up. Here's this absolutely ginormous construction crew right across the street. They must have demolished a building, and they're busting it all apart, and they're loading into trucks, and they're hauling it all away. So that's what I woke up to. I think I showed you some video of that.
You sent me a snap, and it was like you'd have thought a bomb just went off. Like it was just rubble everywhere that you looked.
Right.
It was crazy.
Well, come to find out what it is right next to me on the other side of the hotel was where the Oklahoma Thunder play.
Oklahoma City. Yep. That's cool.
That's gonna be the new site to their new
arena.
I
see. Because I think they're in Paycom Arena now.
Yes, very nice. I went to a Thunder game when I was down there.
That's cool.
And they happened to be playing the Milwaukee Bucks.
When I saw that, because a couple days before, you're like, he says you told me, you're like, dude, I'd love to go. And of course, they played the Bucks in Milwaukee. You told me that. I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah.
So I happened to be on ESPN app looking at a schedule, and I'm looking at the thing that says Bucks at Thunder. So I texted you. I'm like, Matt, they play in OKC tonight. And you're like, what? No way. Yeah. So you got to go to that.
I got to go to the Milwaukee Bucks Oklahoma Thunder game.
Yeah,
that was pretty awesome.
That was pretty neat. That's pretty neat. But I think I heard that show's going to be in OKC for the next year or two.
Oh, probably because I heard they're doing some big construction at the convention center. In
Fort Worth, where it usually is.
Yes.
Yep. Matt, you had a situation down there, and somehow, some way, this tends to always come up in these podcasts.
Oh my gosh, this was absolutely incredible.
So I'm going to read you guys a little story, all right, about Mathew's adventures down in Oklahoma City. Okay. 30 for 30 presents Across the Street. What if I told you that the biggest move of trade show season didn't happen inside the booth? It began with confidence, handshakes, catalogs, beef sticks, questionable convention center cuisine. Then the rumble heard round the world. Subtle at first, manageable, dismissible, but pressure builds.
It did.
He assessed the situation. The convention center restroom, risky. The crowd, heavy. The supplies, uncertain. So he made the call. Across the street stood the Omni Hotel. A lobby restroom, clean, quiet. Carpeted hallways of hope.
Yes.
The TP shuffle wasn't fast. It wasn't slow. It was calculated. Every step negotiated.
Absolutely.
He made it. The door closed. Victory seemed certain. And then, after letting things rip, he looked down. Both rolls empty.
Unbelievable.
In that moment, there was no let-off, no backup spool, no emergency kit. Just a man, a trade show badge, and the consequences of a convention center burrito.
Absolutely.
Some tournaments are won with precision. Some are lost with poor preparation. But true character is revealed when you cross the street and still come up empty. 30 for 30s. Across the street, the Omni incident.
It was unbelievable. I could not.
I can only imagine you having to go to the bathroom so bad. You're scared of the public restroom at the show. You wander across the street. Disaster strikes inside the bathroom.
It did. I couldn't believe it.
Why do you always have these types of stories, Matt?
It was unbelievable. I have it on video.
Oh, my. What?
I sent you the video of the 2 rolls of empty toilet paper.
God.
Unbelievable. What are the odds? Thank gosh. There's a road between the Omni and the convention center.
Okay.
Thank goodness they have barricades up so no traffic could drive through there that week of the trade show.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
I literally started walking across the street and I had to stop walking.
Oh, it was that. The cramps were getting that bad.
It was unbelievable, yeah. I was like, oh.
Did you eat something that you think was the cause?
I did have a convention center chicken burrito.
Oh, you had
the day before.
Oh my god, dude, a burrito from a convention
it's
center?
all that they that's all that they had right there.
Skip lunch, dude.
As I get my meal for that day, I walk down an aisle and I see food court on 4th floor. I'm like, well, why didn't they have that facing the other way?
Yeah.
Why do they have it facing when you're walking back away from when you have your chicken burrito?
Yep.
It was and the Omni is a beautiful
hotel. Yeah, they're nice hotels. Yeah.
And they were out of both rolls. Out.
You struck out twice.
It was terrible.
That's bad. I guess, well, lesson learned, Matt. Check the rolls before you let it roll.
Yeah. But I have something funny to tell you, too. Cale Goodwin, who is a fan of the podcast, he's also a fan of the Bubble Gut.
I think everybody, for some reason, loves the Bubble Gut. I don't know.
He saw that I posted that video of the construction that was going on outside my hotel.
Yep.
He was working in Oklahoma City.
Wow. What are the odds?
He messages me, comes to the convention center. I go out. We meet. He's happy. We're talking about bowfishing and stuff, and it was cool to meet Cale.
Absolutely.
Down there.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah, that's neat. That's neat.
And as I'm out there talking to Cale, my phone rings, and I go, oh, Cale, look at here. D-Schmidty's calling. He was like, oh, my gosh.
Well, that was perfect. That was perfect timing then. We each got to talk to him. That's awesome. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, shout out to Cale for that. That's pretty cool.
So speaking of pressure and decision-making, let's talk about the Big 20,
Absolutely, Absolutely. Let's talk about why we changed the Big 20, the big 2 adjustments, Matt. Let's start with the first place going from 10 grand to 7,500. Let's dive into what the reason was for that.
Absolutely. Well, Schmidty, the goal for us isn't just that big headline number, Schmidty. Yep. It used to be, but I think we need to change that, Derek. It's great to show first place 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand. But what that does is that leaves so little of that payout to be paid down to the other teams.
You're so top heavy. You know, there's a lot of tournaments that you're paying out only 3 spots, 4 spots maybe, because you've got a bigger payout at the top, which is great and that's awesome. You know, but it leaves some of the rest of the teams not getting anything.
Right. And that's what we're hoping that this does, is it's about rewarding more teams, Derek.
Yep.
Makes it more competitive across the board. Another thing that I'm hoping for is it encourages more participation. Right. All right. Some of these teams might be a little intimidated, and they're like, well, you know, it's only paying out, 5 spots.
Right. We're not going to finish in that top 5.
Right. So maybe more people will show up at these tournaments to compete in them. And it keeps more money circulating in the bowfishing community, Derek.
Yep.
You know? Yep. We'd rather see 12 to 15% of the field walk away with something meaningful than a giant check and everyone else kind of goes home empty.
Right.
Now, do I feel that everybody's walking away empty? No. Because I think a lot of people truly enjoy
100%.
the Big 20. They like the atmosphere. They like talking to everybody. They like seeing their friends. It's a good time.
Yeah.
But I just would want to get back to when we used to have the Big 20, $5 grand was the payout.
Yep.
Man, we were paying down to 16th place in those tournaments.
Yep.
And I missed that, Derek.
Yeah.
I want to call up more names than just 5 teams.
Sure. Yep.
Yes, it's great to have somebody win $10,000.
Oh, absolutely.
It's cool and it's exciting. But I just feel like maybe we're missing the roots of bowfishing tournaments.
Yeah. Yeah, and just so everybody knows, we're not just taking that $2,500 away from the top prize. It is being evenly distributed amongst other teams.
Right.
You know, how you're placing teams instead of top 5 being paid out, it'll be top 10, whatever that will look like based off the amount of teams in the tournament.
Yeah. And, nowadays, you got fuel costs, you got travel costs, you got entry fee.
Yep.
Teams that are traveling from out of state, maybe they have a chance at winning some of this money, even though it might not be payouts of, $3,000 or $1,000, but they're going to be getting something, and that makes you feel good.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So the position that AMS is thinking is long-term, not just all that flashy stuff.
Yeah.
With that being said, absolutely nothing wrong with the high payout tournaments.
Absolutely
nothing wrong.
Yep.
They're out there. We love them. They're great. They're exciting. It's just something that we wanted to do.
Yep.
We wanted to get this back to more of a root-style bowfishing. Why we really were doing this, and to get it back that way. Now, I know that there's going to be people out there that say, well, why lower the first place? It's still one of the largest payouts in the state.
Right.
Even at $7,500, Derek.
Right. Yep.
That's still pretty strong for a one-day tournament. For example, Derek, I wrote this down here. So last year we had 72 teams, Derek, okay?
Yep.
$18,000 in payout. 55.5% of that payout went to the first place team.
Right. Yep. 55% of the purse went to one team.
Right. That's very top heavy. 22.2% went to second place team.
Yep. You're sitting at upper 70% now of that purse being gone.
13.89 went to third place.
Yep.
5.56 went to fourth, and 2.78 went to fifth.
Yeah.
Okay. Out of 72 teams, only 6.94% walked away with money.
Right. Yep.
I want to see that change.
Yeah.
I want to see
more
that
people
change.
walk away with something.
I want people to be happy and stuff.
Right.
So this year we'll be paying 15% of the field. Now, for example, Derek, if we had 70 teams show up this year, we're going to be paying down to the 11th place team.
Right. Yep. And that will only grow if we're up in the 80, 90, 100 caliber. You'll have, that's what we're wanting to stick
to. I want to see if we can get back to that 80 and 90 teams that are showing up.
Yep.
So that is one of the reasons why we decided to lower the first. And, also, Derek, we were only going to have that $10,000 first place prize for one of our tournaments, and that was our 10th anniversary tournament.
Right, and then we held on to it for a while.
Right, we held on to it for a while. Yep, so just a little hints right there.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right, so, Matt, let's touch on the other big change, going from 10 buff limit to 5.
Yeah.
What was the thought process behind that?
There's a lot of teams that do not come back with buffs.
Yep.
They're shooting commons. They don't have the time. They're traveling from out of state. They don't have the resources to find a lake or a flowage or water body that has some buffs in it, so they're just looking for the commons.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, would you say that probably 95% of the fish weighed in are commons to begin with?
Yes,
they are. It is dominated by the common aspect. But you get a team that brings in 10 big buffs, they have a major advantage moving forward, which they should. They went and they found those fish. 100% agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that. I love seeing big fish as anybody else, Derek.
Yep.
Oh, we got some pretty big commons here.
God, yeah.
We got some studs. We got some hammers here. But I think if we could take that limit down to 5,
right,
I think those weights are going to be closer, be tighter, more competition. And that's what I want a bowfishing tournament to be like.
Right. Yep.
I want more teams to get paid. I want the competition to be close. I want everybody to feel like they have a chance of doing something.
Yep. Absolutely. So that's the basis behind changing that from 10 to 5. We want closer weights, more competitive weights, and just try to make it more of a competitive field overall.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I think that'll be cool. That'll be something that we'll look forward to doing here. Matt, do we have any T-shirt updates that we want to share with anybody as far as pre-registering to get a shirt?
Yes. So pre-registration opens March 7th.
Yep, and that is a Saturday, I believe.
It's a Saturday at
Matt, what did I tell you about?
I'm sorry. I got to take this call. Hold on here. Hello, this is a Bowfishing Buzz. Who do we have here?
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
He's alive!
Oh, my gosh. Cranky is alive.
He's alive. After a long sabbatical, he has returned.
I'm sorry. I scale dialed you. I was trying to get Maggie. I got Matt. They're right next to each other.
Well, that's okay, Cranky.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry. We are so glad that you called us back. People were wondering if you were still alive.
Yes.
And now we know that Cranky, the carp, is still alive and doing well.
That's good.
Are you doing well, Cranky?
We don't know.
Are you doing well?
No, Matt. Bad morning already.
Oh, no. It's only 9:30.
Yesterday was my birthday, 39 years old. And the guys down the lake took me to Rosie's, got in there. All I'm going to say is I woke up this morning next to a big fat mirror carp, and she's ugly. So she's down getting some Plan B to sprinkle all over the eggs. There's fish eggs all over my room. Oh, it's just a nightmare.
Oh, my goodness, Cranky.
Cranky.
What were you drinking?
I think they put some roofies in it or something. I don't remember nothing.
Oh,
they looked like the spring this morning. There was fertilized eggs everywhere.
Oh, my gosh. Little crankies in the water everywhere.
Plan B. She went to get Plan B. We're good.
Oh, okay.
Goodness gracious. Wow, talk about an early spawn. Goodness.
We don't want to mess up the ecosystem with a bunch of young crankies before there should be some young crankies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So, Cranky, where are you hanging out these days right now? Where are you at?
I'm in La Crosse by French Island. I love it up there.
Oh, in Wisconsin even.
Down on the river. Yeah. How's the flow right now, Cranky?
I can't really tell. So much freaking ice up there. People walking around and driving around and fishing for them perch and crappie.
Yeah. That's a big destination for perch fishing down there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All kinds of little baits coming down all the time. I just laugh when I swim by them. But it's better than seeing them stupid lights. Know what I mean?
That's very true. It keeps you safer.
Cranky, it's right around the corner here now. Things are going to be changing. You know that, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Tell me that AMS Big 20 tournament's coming up, isn't it?
Yes,
it is. We're just talking about it.
We're just talking about it, Cranky, here on the podcast.
I thought I heard something the other day. I was flipping through Fishbook, and I saw there's a registration coming up for the AMS Big 20.
Yep.
So I had to have the meeting with the boys and the girls and tell them that's the weekend you've got to stay away there. I don't know, May something.
Yeah.
Never a good time. Them couple of weeks, you get hundreds of people coming in our area and shooting all my buddies.
Yeah.
But that's okay, Matt. It's good for the water. It really is.
It is.
100%.
Cranky. Yes, that's true. That's true. So, Cranky, I have a question for you since we're talking tournaments down there, and you've been kind of scoping things out down in the area. You got any of those nice big female carp that are going to be, brought into weigh-ins that you kind of have your eye on at all? You see some of these fish growing from last year to this year? What's the scoop down there in size?
Well, I went all the way up to Dakota there and all the way down to Gutenberg.
Oh, my goodness.
I lost a lot. I'm in great shape, Matt.
Holy
I really am. Yeah, that's probably why Rosie thought I was such a doll face last night.
Yeah,
but anyway, I got to tell you, it seems, honestly, the fish are a little smaller. We don't have the big ones on the river like we used to.
Oh.
I think they're all in Dexter. I think we're all in Dexter.
Oh, Dexter Lake.
Mm-hmm. I think Cranky's trying to steer people away from chasing them down
I think
there.
he's surrounded by the big guys.
I would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
I
think he's trying to steer us away from going down
Dexter,
there and chasing
the
his big girls.
line in the book. Oh,
yeah.
I like
every time I turn around, AMS coming out with this, MegaMouth coming out with that. What am I supposed to do? Now you guys got some new bow, like a dinosaur or something.
Yeah.
Is this thing going to eat the carp? What's this thing going to do?
You got to watch out for the Megarex this year for sure.
I thought maybe you'd call it Cranky because that's kind of a cool name.
Yeah.
But Megarex, I guess it's going to work. But, when I think of Megarex, I think of mean. And I don't want you to be that mean to the carp. But so go to Dexter, please. Yeah. Don't go to the river.
Okay.
Well, Cranky, you're going to have to find yourself a good hiding spot for that week there of the Big 20 there on May 16th and 17th.
Right over the border, Matt. I'll be right over the border.
You're going to go down to Iowa.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Be safe. Be safe.
Yep.
You know those Iowa shooters, it's kind of like Canada with the hockey. We stomped the mud hole in their butt, right?
Did you like that or what? How about that, huh?
Oh, I'll tell you what. Talk about unifying the country.
Absolutely.
Watch not only the great men of the U.S. hockey, but the women.
Absolutely.
And I got nothing against those Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing against those Canadians, but I'll tell you, just watching America stand up there and play that Star Spangled Banner even made the carps happy.
That's great to hear.
That's
Absolutely.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Brought a tear to my eye also, Cranky. Well, Cranky, I'm very happy for you because you said you went from Dakota all the way down to Gutenberg. That's a long stretch of river there. You're feeling,
no
you're
offense, guys.
good.
You haven't talked to me in like 7 months. What am I supposed to do? Sit around and play with myself? No, I had to swim. I was getting to know the area a little bit better. I came up there last year in a box. You guys put me in a big-ass box and put me out there to talk to people. Mm-hmm. And then you dumped me in somewhere. It was dark. I couldn't figure out when all of a sudden I was in Alaska. Then I knew where I was.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You were supposed to put me back up there in a green bag. Oh, I didn't say that.
A minor slip-up.
We dumped them in Alaska on purpose. Yeah,
Green Bay's got some big carps, I'll tell you, man. Anybody coming in for AMS, go to Green Bay.
Oh, yeah. I
like getting some real tips here now from Cranky.
Cranky's starting to lay it on the line a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't want to go south. Go north. Now, you guys, depending on when you guys are having it, I believe it's the 16th, 17th in there, Matt?
Yes, it is, Cranky. Yep.
Yeah, those good-looking fatties up there are going to be all over the fly.
There we go. Nice.
Just be careful. It's the last phone call I had with my buddy Mitch up there. He told me it's low. The water up there is low. So got to be careful. Got to be careful riding around there. And the blow boats will be okay, but the ones with the propellers coming around afterwards, you're going to hit the bottom.
Okay.
Be careful.
Be careful up there. That's a good advice out there. Anybody going to Green Bay bowfishing? Yes.
Especially if it's windy. Oh, man, I bet you've been on that place when it's windy.
Oh, yes. You get some pretty good rollers out there, Cranky.
Yep.
I bet you go surfing out there, don't you, when it gets like that?
When I'm chasing them girls around and they're up on the top, I look like a porpoise. I get up there and I just kind of open my mouth. lay out my big fins, and I ride the waves right into them schools.
Oh, that's good for you. That's good for you.
They call me Courageous Cranky for a reason.
Aha.
Balls of steel.
Oh.
I mean, how many carp's going to go from La Crosse, the Dakota, to Gutenberg? Nobody.
Right.
And I'll be in Iowa come to AMS.
Okay, yeah, you get down there, Heifer State, because we want to talk to you some more. So you be safe, Cranky, and you keep up the good work down there on the intel, and keep an eye on those big fat ones that we can weigh in for our tournaments here. Okay.
Will do. I'm sorry I scale dialed you, but you know it was great talking to you guys. I wish you guys, in all seriousness, all the best. Be safe on the water. Spring will be here before you know it. Right. I think the groundhog was wrong. But that's okay. The carp did not see a shadow.
There you go. That's right, Cranky. Well, you take care, buddy, and you call us anytime, okay?
Have a good one. Bye, Schmitty.
See you, Cranky. Thank you for calling.
Well, how about that, folks?
Wow, a little bit of Cranky action. We had not heard from Cranky for a while.
We haven't. I was getting a little worried about Cranky.
Yep, but he's thriving. He's been traveling. That's good. Let a little slip up there as far as where to go, where he's from. So that's very cool. Cranky's always full of stories. But you know who else is full of stories, Matt? You and I are full of stories.
We are full of stories.
We are full of stories.
Yes,
We've got a couple of templates here that I'd like to share with everybody. A couple of things that I'm guessing everybody listening has been in this situation before. Okay? Our first topic of story, Matt, I'll let you kick it off.
Okay, yeah.
Fish that look bigger than what they actually were. Does something come to mind when you hear that story topic?
It happened last year, Schmitty.
Where at?
Me, you, and Gunnar Hagen.
Oh, yeah, okay, absolutely.
It happened last year.
Was it that first one?
It was the first one I shot. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So, of course, we're chasing bakeheads.
Yep.
Completely dark out.
Yep.
Boom. Hit the spec ops. There's a tanker right on the surface. Broadside, too, which is a great shot because sometimes you're facing it. That's you don't got much but a 10 ring to hit on those, you know. Yep. He was broadside, back out of the water. Boom, boom. Both Gunnar and I struck him. Gunnar's line actually got ripped off because he got caught in a trolling motor, and the trolling motor was going.
Oh, that's right. It was a disaster.
Yeah.
It was something else.
So I'm fighting this fish, and when he came up to the surface, when we finally saw him, and Gunnar put another backup shot into him, I was like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Because my previous best was 82 or something. I think it was something like that.
Okay, yep.
And I saw this big head surface. Now, I was, you know what I was like. Oh, yeah. I was freaking jacked up.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. This got to be the biggest fish I ever shot. Oh, my gosh. We get in the boat.
We Googled what the Kentucky record was.
Yeah.
In the boat.
I tripped over the trolling motor, and Gunnar's holding me back, and I'm trying to hold this fish up, and I am all jacked up. Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
That fish was just so fat. I'm getting all excited here.
Yeah, you are. You're getting all amped up. You're reliving it.
And we're filming and we're talking to the camera and getting all jacked up on big heads. And we grabbed the scale and weighed. I'm like, that ain't right. We do that scale. Lift it up. It was like 60-some, 62 or something.
I thought it was like 72. I thought it tipped 70.
Did it really?
We were thinking there was going to be like a 90.
We were expecting 90s on there.
Yep.
And I was like, are you kidding? But that fish just totally confused me there because he was so thick and heavy.
And I wonder, too, like it was the first fish of the night. We had nothing to gauge it off of. It was obviously still a big fish.
Yeah.
It's a big fish. But like when you see that first fish, it's the first one you see all night long. You might be a little bit not knowing how to scale it compared to what else you've been seeing.
Right.
You know, if we'd have shot a 40 first and then a 50 and then we shot that one, maybe we'd have had a little bit more of an accurate guesstimate on that.
Yep. That fish threw me off, though. I was jacked up. That's my biggest fish, and it wasn't.
Yep. That's still a stud fish.
You got one, Schmitty, like that?
When I think of that, and again, it was a good fish. It was a very good fish. We were in Wisconsin shooting the buff spawn.
Okay.
Red Shutter Media was with us.
Oh, I know.
And you mentioned something, big fish, and I drew back, and I kind of had to shoot a little bit further down than what I thought, and I saw the fish in the water, and it was somewhat deep, clear water, which to me acts almost like a magnifying glass. And I shot the fish, and it took off, and I remember not saying much on camera. Cameras were rolling, and I remember being kind of like, because I'm like, if that fish was as big as what I thought it was there, holy cow. We got
like, chase.
We chased it. It surfaced out 10 yards from us, 15 yards from us. We're like, oh, my God. When we got the fish in the boat, Big female buff.
Yeah.
I remember I lifted her out of the water. She just spewed eggs.
Yep.
And that fish ended up weighing 50 pounds. Like a beautiful, solid, big fish.
Yep.
But when I shot it, I was assuming that fish was going to weigh even more than what it did. Still a solid fish, but I was thinking 10, 15 pounds heavier.
It was long.
It was. Yep.
Solid, big, thick back on her.
And she probably lost a couple pounds, me trying to get her in the boat. She was, it was like a water faucet turned on with fish eggs.
What did we say, Schmidty, when we were holding that? How do you like your eggs? Raw.
Yep. We both said it at the same time. Yep. That was a good fish. That was a big fish, but that was cool. That was cool.
Yep.
All right. Let me ask you this, Matt. Let's reverse that first topic.
Okay.
Fish that you thought looked small and ended up being bigger than you thought.
These are easy for me.
Yeah. Okay.
These are like wood ticks. They remind me of a stuffed wood tick or a big old pillow.
Yep.
It's the smallmouth buffs down in Texas.
Yep. That was ridiculous down there. It's like they had trouble swimming almost.
Yeah, but when you see them, you're like, oh, there's a 30. There's a 25-pounder. You shoot it. And when you try to get it in the boat, it's like, good grief. Mm-hmm. What is this? It looks like an alien. His mouth comes down so far, and it's so thick.
Yeah.
And
girthy. The
girthy.
shoulders on those fish. It looks like somebody pumped them with an air inflator.
It is. It's like if you were to hit them with the nail with the hammer, they would explode.
Pop. Yeah.
It would pop.
Yep.
Those fish, to me, are very deceiving because that 25-pound fish is a 47-pound buff.
Right. Yep.
Oh, my gosh. Those fish are just absolutely studs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unbelievable.
That's a good one. I didn't think of that one. My example was actually just this past year when we flipped the lights on and we were in South Dakota.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, holy cow, there's fish everywhere. And we'd be sitting there, we're like, what's the biggest one of the 8 fish that we see right now? Finally, it gets to the point where you're like, okay. You shoot one, you bring it in the boat, and you're like, oh, my God, this is a 30-pound fish. We're passing 30-pound fish.
Yeah.
This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, the average size is so big that it's hard to, like that story with your big head, it was like you didn't have a proper scale because you weren't shooting 10, 15, 20-pound fish. You were just surrounded by 25-plus.
Yeah.
You know, and if you see a big one in that group, guess what? It's going to push 40 pounds. Mm-hmm. It's going to be an absolute monster. Mm-hmm. That was just that's what I thought when I thought of that.
Yep, that's a good example.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right, Matt. Fight stories. Fish on.
Oh, I thought you meant we were going to get ready to duke it out or something.
I wouldn't want to embarrass you in front of all these people.
You want to arm wrestle?
No.
You want to arm wrestle?
You don't have to tell that story. You don't have to embarrass me right now. I was tired. It was a long day. And I just had rotator cuff surgery. So crazy fish fight stories. You shoot a fish and all of a sudden mayhem breaks loose.
First thing that pops into my head here, Schmitty, was probably back in 2009. It was my first time down to Kentucky. My first time I ever met Dennis Redden. I was down there with Cindy and Jeff, the owners of AMS Bowfishing here. We went down there to kind of cover the Campbell's Bowfishing Challenge down there.
Yep.
We weren't competing in it. AMS was a big sponsor of that.
Yep.
And we went down there to film some of it and meet some of the people that were shooting
Sure.
it.
Yep.
And the second night down there, Dennis and his son Jeremiah took us out to do some filming down there. I had never shot big heads in my life before. I thought they were the coolest looking fish when I saw them come back to weigh-ins. Mm-hmm. They took us out on the river down there below Kentucky Dam, and we went and chased some fish. And I was filming. Finally, Jeff and Cindy said, Matt, why don't you come down and shoot a fish? Okay, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So I got down there, and I shot a good big head. And it was fighting really hard, and it was out towards the middle of the channel.
Yep.
And it's dark out. You know, it's, I don't know, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is. And a barge was barreling down on us pretty good.
Yep.
And he lit us up with the lights, and he was hitting his horn a little bit. But we wanted to get this big head in. And finally, we had to just horse that big head up to the surface and get him in the boat. He was like a 50-pound big head. My first, giant big head that I've ever shot.
Sure. Yep.
But, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that's got to be added pressure.
It's not a fun feeling having a barge hit you with those lights and then having him hit his horn on you.
He knows you're there. He's mad you're there. Get out of the way. Meanwhile, you're trying to bring a big fish into the boat.
Yeah, because you can see him up there with his big light, but you don't know where the front. It's so hard to see their little red and green lights on the very front of those barges.
Right. Yep.
So it's a little spooky, you know. He hit us. He hit us up a couple times.
Rumbles your soul when he lets it go. Yeah,
that was probably one of my craziest fight stories, I guess, on the fish. And my alligator was pretty.
I was gonna say
cool
that's got to
too.
be pretty wild.
The alligator was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was young, Matt. I was maybe here a year or two. Me and a buddy had bought a boat, little John boat, put a deck on it. We were down shooting it. We were in Wisconsin. And I remember it being a big fish at the time. I don't remember the weight. Probably upper 20s, maybe common carp.
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting there, and we both shot at it. I hit it. Our line got tangled amongst each other's. Each of our line got tangled up.
Sure.
So we got a disaster to begin with. Then the fish got in the trolling motor. So our line's wrapped around the trolling motor.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're sitting there trying to do this. I'm looking down. I'm like, God, the fish is like under the boat. I can't reach it. We couldn't gaff it. I'm sitting. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. We got a generator running the lights in the back. I'm like, oh, this is wild. All of a sudden, Jenny dies on us.
Now you're in pitch darkness.
It's 2 a.m. It's pitch black. We have a rat's nest below us. We're wrapped up. It's around the trolling motor. So I'm sitting up there, and I'm trying to piece this all together. I can still feel a fish on the other end. I got down into the pit of the boat.
Nobody goes back and puts some gas in it, Jenny, to get it going?
We tried to get it going. That's what I was going back there to do. It had gas in it. It was just a little bit of a temperamental generator. We bought it cheap. It was not a high-quality deal. And I remember stepping down to go play with the generator, and I step in. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Here I step into like an inch or two of water.
Uh-oh.
Here, our freaking back of the boat had this little area that was shattered. There was a little crack in it. Here we had started to take on water. So we're sitting there, and we're trying to get water out of the boat with a freaking little, like a cup like the size of this little Yeti right here. And we're throwing water out the boat. Meanwhile, I went back up front, and what I did is
Fish is still on?
Fish is still on.
Oh, my gosh.
So eventually, I just like reached under the trolling motor with a knife, cut my line, and I got the fish in that
nice.
But it was the epitome of like two guys who don't really know what the heck they're doing. It was pitch black. And we got the fish in. We were all, oh, man, we were freaking big and proud, man. Look at this 26-pound common.
Yeah.
We did it, baby. But it was, we had water in the boat. The generator died. We're tangled up. We had line back behind the trolling motor. It was a disaster.
Exciting
but
disaster.
I'll remember it forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
You remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right, Matt, last one, saddest one. I know what I'm going to say. Worst misses on true giants.
Mm-hmm. When I saw that, I knew right away where I was going on that, Derek. 2010.
Get the year down.
BAA Worlds, Kentucky.
Okay.
My first Worlds I've ever shot in, shooting with my nephew and Kevin Baxter.
Okay.
Night started off pretty good. We had some good buffs in the boat. We were doing very well. We were back in the cove. This absolute stud of a grassy.
I don't know if I know this story.
Came barreling out at us. We had it. We had done it perfectly. We had pinched it to where he had to come out the sides of us. You know.
Yep.
We went in the middle of it instead of going along the edge and coming around the edge. You know, following the shoreline.
Yep.
We went in the middle of it. It worked out perfectly. He came barreling out right along my side and my nephew's side, and it was a big, thick grassy. Long. We both missed.
Really?
Yeah. We ended up taking second place that year, and we had to weigh in like a 12-pound common.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, would that fish popped us into first place? I don't know.
And you never will.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my most memorable misses on a giant fish. When it really counted, when it mattered. You know, we needed that fish.
Yep.
And we whiffed on them. Mm-hmm.
Seems like the losses haunt you more than you remember the losses more than you do the wins even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was absolutely, as many times as I've been on to Kentucky shooting fish, that was the biggest grass carp I've ever seen down there. I have never seen one that big since 2010.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happens to everybody. If you do it long enough, it's bound to happen.
Yep.
Matt, I'm going to say one word, and I think you're going to know.
I know.
I'm just going to say the word gar.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody knows this gar.
I won't disclose the location or the area that we were in. It was you, me, and Tim.
We were on the Ohio River.
I'll say that. Yep, there's a little bit more of a specified point that I remember us being at.
Yeah.
We were shooting MegaMouth prototypes at the time.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They were working well. We were shooting fish. It was
shooting
fun. Shooting silvers, having a blast, doing some testing, doing some filming.
Yep.
And I remember you were up in the you kind of were straddling the trolling motor. Tim was in the left corner. I was in the right corner. And all of a sudden, we see a fish come to the surface, and you were like, "Oh my, what is that?" And I freaking, you didn't even, your bow didn't even have time to move, and I drew back and shot,
which was great. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do.
Missed by about 2 feet.
But you missed by a lot,
and the fish went down. And I remember we just sat there for probably 15 seconds of just complete silence. Because whatever the hell that was absolutely ginormous.
It was a big long nose.
We sat there looking up records. We're like, oh my God, that was a record right there. I remember you telling me, you're like, if we didn't have to get back, he said, that's the kind of fish I would hunt.
Yeah.
I would come back to this spot day after day because that was a record right there. Mm-hmm. That's the one that sticks in my head all the time. Yep. That was an absolute giant.
It was so girthy.
Like almost to a point where I'm like, I didn't even know. I'm like, could that be a long nose? I'm like, what was it? A gator? Just all kinds of crazy fever, big fish fever start feeding into your head. And I remember I rushed it beyond belief. Yeah. It was I didn't even aim.
Which is fine. I mean, snap shooting is to me is the only way to bowfish is snap shooting. But yeah, I think what happened is you snapshot so quick that you didn't even have time to think of where your arrow was.
I know.
Pointed.
Yep. Yep, I remember the arrow went into the water, and then the ripples that the fish left when it swam away my line, then cascaded down on there.
That arrow went quite a bit over his back.
Yeah, that fish is looking up, going, "What's that up there?"
Oh, there's an airplane going across the sky.
Yep. But that was an absolute monster of a fish. I know it probably grows in my head every time I think of it, but it was a big fish. I remember us looking up records and being like, 100%, easy. That would have broke it easy.
Yeah. So. And that's the fun part about these stories is we all have these stories.
Yeah, 100%.
All of you listeners have these stories. And it's so funny. It's fun to talk about those and to remember those. I'm sure while we were sitting here talking about some of these, you guys
are thinking, I
remember that one in that one tournament or that one night we were out on the river or on that flowage or that marsh somewhere.
Yeah.
You guys are remembering these too, so that's what's cool about the Bowfishing Buzz.
Absolutely. We want to be interactive.
We make you relive your memories
as well. Exactly. Good or bad.
Yeah.
Does not matter. There are no limits. Yes. So, yes, like always, we're full of stories. Joey Greenwell is also full of stories. We're going to chat a little bit and give Joey a call right after this quick commercial break. Are you looking to elevate your bowfishing brand with stunning design solutions? Look no further than N Designs. Their team of talented designers is dedicated to bringing your vision to life. Whether it's t-shirts, hats, leather products, eye-catching logos, to captivating boat wraps, they have you covered. Plus, with their commitment to excellence and attention to detail, you can trust that your project is in good hands. Don't settle for ordinary. Choose N Designs for extraordinary results. Visit their website today and let's bring your ideas to life. N Designs, where creativity meets excellence. Efficiency Bowfishing Lights by Outdoor Innovations USA. A color tone adjustable and dimmable light with a unique patented reflector design that puts more light where you need it. Efficiency Bowfishing Lights offer 3 different models: the 65-watt single-color economy light, the 65-watt Efficiency V2 tricolor dimmable light for maximum efficiency and versatility, and the 130-watt Efficiency Maximus, designed to be an all-out beast of a bowfishing light. Efficiency, designed and built by bowfishermen for bowfishermen. Check them out at OutdoorInnovationsUSA.com. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 116 of the Bowfishing Buzz podcast. We teased it a little bit earlier in the podcast. We have a very special guest joining us here, someone that we have had the privilege to be able to work with closely over the past calendar year. The man behind the Mega Rex. Joining us is Joey Greenwell. Joey, thank you for joining us. How in the world are you doing today?
Doing pretty good, actually. Staying busy. It's that time of year again. So it's just getting to the point to where we're in the shop all day. How about you guys?
Gotcha. Well, we're one and the same because we're reaching that same point here. We're just in the shop building stuff up. It's been a busy week here, but busy is good. Busy means that product is moving and everything's going well.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's always a glorious time of year, isn't it?
Well, your weather down there has been like on a roller coaster, I think, down there, hasn't it?
Yeah, we get 70 degrees one day and -2 degrees the next.
My gosh!
It doesn't want to make it. It doesn't want to make up its mind.
Wow!
You get acclimated to the 70 degrees for a couple of days, and it's like, oh yeah, this is awesome. It's time to go fishing, and then all of a sudden it gets down to 30 degrees that night, and then you go outside and you're like, okay, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yep, absolutely. Just for everybody listening, in case you guys don't know Joey Greenwell joining us, maker of G-Rex bows, G-string bowstrings, well known in the bowfishing community. He's making our Mega-Rex bow for us. It's been a blast. We're just going to ask him a couple questions and roll forward with it.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So, Joey, what I want you to do is take us back. When did bowfishing first grab you?
I was really young. As of right now, I'm 46 years old, and I was probably between 6 and 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
My dad and uncle used to take us out to like flooded waters and bridges and stuff like that. Never on a boat, but that's what we did.
Yeah.
We'd get out there and shoot some bowfin or grinnell, as people call them. Buffalo, stuff like that. We started really young. I probably didn't get on a bow until, I was probably around 8 to 10 years old, but we loved going out there and picking up the fish and messing with them. And it was just a blast. It was different than anything else that, anybody did. So we get out there and of course, the spring weather and flooded waters come in and it would just be everybody get out there and just start shooting fish.
Yep.
And we just had a blast with it.
Yeah, sure. It's addicting. That's for sure. No doubt with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Joey, you're down there in Kentucky. We have made it a habit, Matt, you more than myself, of going down to Kentucky. Many people think that Kentucky is almost the mecca of the bowfishing world. Yeah. The amount of variety, size, and everything. Growing up in Kentucky, what was the bowfishing scene like?
To be honest with you, I didn't feel like anybody else that I knew or anywhere bowfished. I thought we were outliers. We'd be out there and people would be pulling up on us and like, what are y'all doing? We'd be standing on a bridge with a bow and they just couldn't figure out why we'd be on a bridge with a bow.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
We're out there, got, fish laying on the bank and just trying to collect as many fish as we could throughout the day as the fish were rolling through there under the bridge, and we'd shoot them and we just never seen anyone else. Yeah. It was just one of those things where it was weird to everybody else. And then, as time went by, you started seeing other people get out there on the bridge and it started taking off. And I can remember, we used to use, like a Zebco 808. We would take a hose clamp and clamp it to a stabilizer bar. And that's kind of how we did it because we didn't like wrapping lines around, a reel. And, then some guy come out there with an AMS bottle reel, which of course we didn't know what it was. And we was like, what in the world is that thing? And of course he's showing it off. And then we're all like, well, that's the best thing since sliced bread. We're like, we're going to have to get one of those. And then of course, before you know it, we all going down to our local store that had bowfishing arrows and stuff like that and talked him into actually buying these products to supply us kids. We were out there shooting fish, and of course, before you knew it, everybody had them. That was just the thing.
That's pretty cool.
So we have Joey to thank for picking us up a dealer back in the day.
Absolutely. Good job, Joey. Like a salesman down
there.
Our
relationship started earlier than what you even thought. Yep.
Yeah. Well, we had no idea, And what was funny is I'm like, why would they call it AMS? Like, what in the world? What does AMS stand for? I didn't know for years. It was like I didn't understand the meaning behind it. So to be honest with you, when you try to look it up or whatever, you're looking up bowfishing products or whatever. who would think to look that up? You know? So you see different things or different products for it, and you know, and you technically had to search for AMS Bowfishing reel,
right?
You know, and we couldn't figure it out. We were trying to figure it out, so we'd go talk to this guy, and you guys probably remember him, the Crappie Shack.
Yes.
Shack?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was him that we ended up getting him to buy these things for us, and of course we were using him quite a bit for you know, all of our bow fishing needs because he was local to us. And he was the only one around.
Mm-hmm. He sold a ton of bow fishing gear throughout those years. I remember talking to him at the ATA shows. Just a great guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really cool guy.
Yeah. Back to the AMS thing, Joey. When I tell people what it actually stands for, it stands for Awesome Mathew Schillinger. They don't even believe. Oh, that would be all metal stamping is what it stands for. But I love whenever people ask me, we get asked a lot what it stands for. That's my go-to, and I don't tell them that I was lying to them. They just think that. There's people in the world that think AMS stands for Awesome Mathew Schillinger.
Yeah. So see how cool it is, though? When you think about it, Joey was already helping us many, many moons ago.
Oh, yeah.
Not just this past season. Mm-hmm. How cool is it? I mean, how cool is it to think that would all turn around eventually to where we are today? Right. You know, that's pretty cool stuff right there.
And you know, it wasn't intentionally trying to help y'all. I was trying to help myself.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right.
I'm like, where can we get this stuff? I mean, nobody has it. Like every store you go into, you know, you got maybe a bow fishing arrow. I mean, and some string.
Yeah.
That's all you could get, you know, and it's like, well, this sucks. We got to figure out where you get this stuff.
Sure.
You know? And the guy that we seen that had it, of course, we didn't know who he was. You know, we just seen it, and we're trying to figure out what it is.
Yep.
So it's like, we've got to figure this out because that seems really cool, and it was really nice, especially when you shoot a big fish. You know, you couldn't reel them in with them Zepcos. It would just pull all your line out, and you couldn't ever get, you know, enough tension to pull them in. And then when you grabbed it with your fingers, they were cutting your fingers up. So, you know, it was pretty rough. So those bottle reels really came in handy back then. You know, you can grab that line and just pull it right in.
That's cool. That's cool stuff. And I agree with you 100%, Joey, on when you said that you guys felt like you guys were in a small world, like nobody knew what we were doing. That's exactly how I felt when I first started bow fishing. You didn't see anybody.
Right.
You know, you were the only one on the water doing this. And you felt like it was so small back then.
Right.
And then eventually it just blew up, you know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I was probably, I want to say mid-20s before I really started noticing people really getting into bow fishing, you know, and starting doing it off of boats and stuff like that. You know, it was, we never did it off a boat. We always did it off of backwater. So we were just backwater. We'd get out there and wade in the water and shoot the buffalo in cornfields and stuff like that. And we just always done it like that. And then I was talking to a guy that says, oh, no. He's like, you need to try it on a boat, you know. And I'm like, really? Can you do it on a boat? Because you're you know, typically backwater, it's really shallow water, you know, and you get out on a river or a lake, you know, it's like, you know, it's mostly deep water. So you're thinking, you know, you're not going to see these fish, and you can only see them in the backwater. But to my surprise, we get out there and try it with a old bass boat and get out there, and you know, we're typically doing this during the daytime, you know, for the last few hours of light, and then, you know, running into the night, you know, when we was doing it on backwater. And then of course we get out there and just doing it all at night, you know, and you're just using spotlights, and it was fun. I was like, oh yeah, I won't ever do it off a bridge again, because it got to the point where the bridges got so full that you got one guard swimming by and 15 people shooting at it.
Oh man!
It's like okay, you didn't have to share no more. You could go out there on the water and be wherever you wanted to be. You didn't have to share with 15 other people.
Exactly. So Joey, you're both in the bank. You got the boat and stuff now. You've been doing it for a couple of years. Did you jump into the bow fishing tournament aspect of bow fishing too?
Oh yeah, we even shot, you know, really small local tournaments, you know, in our area, just bank shooting or backwater shooting, you know, and even then we were, you know, getting into it a little bit, and then once we got on a boat, that changed the game a little bit. And of course, we really started trying to find tournaments, which at the time, they were pretty rare, but they were once or twice a year. You'd find a tournament, that would be on our local waters.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we found a site called Bowfishing Country on the website, and then we started seeing all these tournaments, all over the place, and then we just started following that and started hitting tournaments. Any tournament that we could get a hold of that that was within reason.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure. Yep. So Joey, I got to ask you. I mean, with what you're doing now, you've obviously have a company very well known. When did the idea for building your own lever bow first hit you? What stage of your life were you in, and what did that look like?
Well, I used lever bows. I would say early 2000s, and it was just love. That's all we ever wanted to use. Once we started using them, and of course, as the business started, it was just bowstrings. All we ever did was that, and then we started making custom parts. I quit my job doing bowstrings, and I took my 401k money and bought my first CNC machine, and then started making custom parts for my own bows and my friends' bows and stuff like that. And we was testing and playing and messing with them, and until we got some cool products out, and then we just started selling those. And before you knew it, we had so many different parts that, hey, let's just build our own bow. And then it just kind of domino affected from there. We made a couple prototypes that didn't work too well and couldn't get things right. And then it was one of those aha moments, and you kind of figure it out. And once we get a bow that was working, we took it out fishing, and I think I shot my record number of fish that I've ever shot that very first time I ever took it out.
Wow.
And it was pretty insane. I was like, oh yeah, we got something here. And we just started showing it off, and people was loving it, and I had people telling me that, when we started building them, they wanted them. So we just kind of kept trying to perfect it as much as we could. And we had a lot of help from other bow fishers that, would come up with this or come up with that. And we just kind of took a lot of insight from people to try to build it the way people would want it.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that, was just trying to make it better than anybody else, to sell it. And that's what we set out to do. And before you knew it, we were building bows, and we had a little CNC machine in the shop, and it was one of those things where I think we could build like 5 bows in a week. It took a lot of time, and it was a mess. And we were in this little basement, and holy crap! We just ended up having to get another machine, and we had to cut out a wall and to get the machine in there. And
oh my gosh!
It just kind of took off.
That's pretty cool.
That's crazy. From building parts for your own bow to building complete bows and having to knock down a wall of your basement to be able to put in another machine. That's quite the story.
It is. You know what I found interesting? Yeah. You know what I find interesting? What you just got done talking about with you building a bow and then friends seeing it, wanting you to build up another bow for them. That reminds me so much of Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Lassie, who, same thing, Joey. He was out bow fishing, and he got sick of wrapping the line in a soup can and all that stuff. And he went back to the shop and built and designed the retriever.
Yep.
Took it back out on the water. He's using it. Other people are watching him. Hey, can you build me one of those? Boom.
And it turns into this.
And look what you turned into. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff right there.
And that's like, it happened all by accident as far as even the string side of it. I'd actually ordered a string for my bow. My bowstring had broke, and it got lost in the mail. So it was a good wait time for the string, and I was like, you know what? I'm just trying to make one myself.
Wow.
So I just ordered some string material, and of course, my first several strings were not up to par. But once I got it figured out and I got one made, and heck, I was using the crap out of it. And then, of course, all the local people around here, we'd be out bow fishing and ask me where I got it at. And I was like, I made it. And they was like, well, make me one. And then before I knew it, everybody around here just started shooting, strings from me. And I wasn't really doing it as a business. I was just doing it because they wanted it, and then I had one of the people that I built a string for had went on a guided trip somewhere, and they seen the string and was like, where did you get that at? And he said, my buddy built it for me. And he's like, well, give me his number. And he called me and said, hey, will you charge me to build 50 of these? And I was kind of set back a little bit, and I was like, I don't know. He said, well, what do you call them? I was like, bowstring. He's like, no, man. He said, you gotta have a brand name for them. He said, tell you what, I'll give you a couple of days to think about this. And he said, call me back. Me, my brother, and my wife were sitting down eating supper, and I was like, this could be pretty cool, and so I wonder what we would name it. And we was popping off a few names. I was like, really, I really want it to have something to do with our last name, which is Greenwell. And I said, maybe just use the first letter of our name and then throw it together. And I said G-string, and it was just like, everybody was like, oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. I love it. That's cool.
So it's funny because whenever I called that guy back and he asked me what the brand was, I told him, he said, I think that's the best name you could have come up with.
There we go. You aced that test.
That's funny.
And it kind of took off from there. And then, of course, as time went by, people were hearing about us, and they'd get on the interwebs and search for G-string, and they was like, man, this is not right, because a lot of stuff pops up that's not supposed to pop up.
Exactly. Yep.
I said, did you put bowstrings behind it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can only imagine.
But you talk about catchy, though. I mean,
yeah, 100%.
The G for Greenwell, and then the string, G-string, and then it's not meant to what it's supposed to mean,
right.
What a catchy name because of all that.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of funny stories with the thing. We've had people that heard about our business, and we was at a bar one time just kind of kicking back, and I seen some old time friends that come over there and asked me what I did for a living, and I said I build G-strings, and they're silent for a second, and then of course they're like, so y'all like have parties and stuff like for this stuff? And I'm like, oh, and they're like, I don't believe you. And of course, my brother's sitting, or actually he's playing pool, and they're like, I don't believe this is what you do. And of course they turn around and said, don't say anything. I'm gonna ask your brother what you do. And they asked, what do y'all do for a living? And my brother said, we make G-strings. And of course they were just like, oh my God. They're trying to figure it out, and they're just like, oh, so what kind of G-strings are you making, And it's just kind of, it's a lot of funny stories.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I got to ask you, Joey, when you were making these bows, were you making what you call now the Nat or the G-Rex bows then?
So we started off with the G-Rex. That was our first bow.
Okay.
But
right.
we called it a Gen 1.
Okay.
Dubbed Gen 1 once we did the Gen 2. Of course, it was just G-Rex. And then we hit the side of the market with the no let-off game, non-adjustable let-off, stuff like that. And then over time, we had a lot of customers asking us for let-off. So we had built a different style. It was the same. It looks the same, but it is built entirely different to where we came up with a Gen 2 where you had adjustable let-off and a little bit longer tip-to-tip. Personally, my favorite bow to date is still that Gen 1.
Okay.
I like it. I just shoot it so good. For some reason, I don't know why. I just when I pull it back and I let go, it's just shooting exactly where I point it.
It's part of your body.
It's just there. And I shot it for so long. I do shoot the Gen 2 as well. I usually set one of them up for big fish and shoot the Gen 1 for numbers. But I'm more of a numbers guy than I am a big fish guy. Mm-hmm. So I shoot the Gen 1 most.
Sure. Gotcha. Yeah. That's very cool. So, Joey, I'm curious. What were you doing for work before you went all in on the bowstring and building bows? What were you doing before that?
Some factory work. I got a job at a place called Trelleborg Automotive. We did, they molded parts out of rubber that fit on most vehicles. And I was maintenance and engineering and boss jobs, foremen, stuff like that. Okay. I did pretty much everything. I was out there for about 17 years.
Oh, wow.
I quit that job to do bowstrings.
Wow. That had to be a pretty big, I mean, was that a little scary, Joey?
Oh yeah, it was, because, we were making enough money to live basically paycheck to paycheck. You basically have bills to pay and you could barely get by. So I was always looking for side work, and I mowed yards, and then this string thing came by, and, I kind of took off with it. And before I knew it, I was building more strings and making more money at home than I was at work. Mm-hmm. But it was kind of seasonal because we were doing mostly bowfishing bows. It was kind of seasonal. Mm-hmm. But, I couldn't keep up with both. So I thought to myself, it's time to make a move. I talked to my wife about it, and she was basically instantly said, jump.
That's cool.
Take a leap.
That's cool.
Let's try it. She's like, if it don't work, we'll figure it out, So that was a little bit of relief off my chest, and I eventually just said, all right. I put my 2 weeks notice in, and I spent every waking moment of every day for the next 6 months trying to get this thing off the ground, and finally got it all going, and here we are.
Wow. That's cool. And I don't want to leave out your wife, Sherry, because she was amazing. We were down by you watching her, what she does, her work down there. And she did a little bit of that. She did a lot of that work before you even went into making your own bows. But she's a big part of this as well, isn't she, Joey?
Oh, yeah. She's the backbone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Without her, we wouldn't be here.
That's cool. That's cool.
I don't think I'd ever even taken that leap without her.
Sure, right.
It's a scary situation to quit a job that you got a paycheck coming to something that you don't know if you got a paycheck coming.
Right. And to have your partner support,
absolutely, that's
making
huge.
That move is huge.
Yes,
it's ginormous.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, when we were down there, Joey, those chicken dumplings that she made for us, that was one of the best meals I've ever had in my life. Oh my God, they were amazing.
Yeah, she's a really good cook, and she likes to feed everybody. She feeds the mail. She feeds the mail lady. She feeds anybody that comes by here around lunchtime. She sets them down. We've fed the UPS guys. They come in here, and if they show up around lunchtime, she's like, "Hey, you want to eat?" And she'll feed anybody that rolls through the door.
That's awesome. That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
And the cool part about
and she's good at it.
That's awesome. Yeah, she is very good at it. The cool thing about Sherry too is she's a huge bow fisher. I mean, she was bow fishing before you guys even made this move, wasn't she, Joey?
Oh yeah. When we got together, we had went out bow fishing one night, and of course she was a spotlight holder, and she seen me have such a good time with it. She was like, "I'd like to try that." So I'm like, "Okay." So we went out and found her a bow at a pawn shop, and we put her together or something. And of course, it was too stout for her, and I had to help her draw it back. But every time she threw it back, she got to shoot at a fish, and it was an absolute blast. And then we ended up, just finding a kid's woman's bow and set her up with that, where you could turn the draw weight down low enough for her, and she fell in love with it right there with me. We were doing it every weekend, and every waking moment that we had that we could do it, we were doing it together. I mean,
that's awesome.
Her and I mostly. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
She's even shot in some of the tournaments that we've done well in. Now, sometimes she'd be asleep back in the back of the boat, but she was there.
She was there. Yeah, that's really cool.
She shot really good until she got tired or cold, and then she's like, "Okay, I'm going to go back here," and she'd be warming up by the generator, it held a little bit of heat, and she'd be back there warming up by the generator.
Yep.
If the fishing got slow, she's out.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
She likes the aerial bowfish. That's her favorite because it's action.
Yeah.
It's action packed, and
Yep.
she's like, that's her stuff.
That's really cool.
That's cool.
She's gonna whoop everybody that bowfishes with us when we go do that. She's like,
Yeah, she was good at it when we were down there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She's good at it. She'll bet you too. She's like, hey, steak dinner tonight. Who's paying?
Oh, nice. A little bit of competitive spirit.
Got to have that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, she definitely does.
So Joey, when we were down there talking to you, you were saying how it was, back in the days when you were not where you are now, you had those machines in your basement. You had to open up a wall so they could get in there. Everything was really tight. It was cramped in there. You had 2 machines down in there. Is that correct, Joey, at that time? Or was it just one?
Yeah, so we started off, we had a garage door, and the first machine I bought slid through the garage door just fine. We had a small little tour mop machine that we started off with, and that we was making small parts with it. When we started building bows, it just couldn't cut it. So we ended up buying a bigger machine, much faster. And my sales rep come down and looked at it, and he's like, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
He said, we're gonna have to figure something out. And so we ended up, getting the dimensions off the machine. I hired a guy to come and cut a hole in the wall in the header of the garage to get it in there, and just enough to put it in there and re-supported everything. And then we were still skeptical, but we ended up having to take the legs off the machine to get it low enough to get it slid in, and then put the legs back on. And then our bedroom was right above where the machine was. So we thought if the machine is too tall, we just cut a hole in the floor and let the machine ride up just under our bed.
Oh my gosh.
So we did whatever we had to do to make this work, and we got it in there, and we ended up not having to cut the floor, but only from a quarter of an inch. That's how much room there.
Gosh.
Yeah, another quarter of an inch we would have had to cut the floor, and the head of the machine would have had to actually slide up under our bed.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, we got lucky. And it was tight in there. I mean, once we got that other machine in there, we had cut the actual or pulled the walls apart and actually made shelves within the walls. That way we had more room because we just didn't have anywhere to put anything. We had customers come by that, had heard about us online, seen the stuff we built, and they would be like, hey, we want to stop by and check out your shop. And we'd be like, great, come on by. This is our address. And they'd come by and they'd walk in there and they would just have a dumbfounded look on their face like, this is where y'all do everything? And we're like, yeah. We're like, wow, we figured y'all was like as big as, Gander Mountain or something,
Sure.
It's just a huge place, and I'm like, no, it's just this little place,
Wow.
Just a few of us in here and just this little bitty old basement,
and
we get it all done.
Yep. And making it work.
Yep.
So
yeah, they kept the overhead down.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's nice. So Joey, you got 2 machines crammed into a basement. You had to cut out a wall. You were worried that you were going to have to cut out the floor of your bedroom so that the machine would fit. All of that happened, and you were still good with it. What was the tipping point when you're like, okay, we gotta move out of this basement. This is enough.
Well, we try to keep our timelines at a certain, length. We don't like to get over a month. And at a point in time, even though we was putting out, so many bows a day, it got to where we were 2 and 3 months out, and we thought we're going to have to do something or we're going to lose customers. So we had to get another machine. And if we get another machine, we're going to have to get a different place because it just wasn't going to fit, So we started looking around for a place, and nothing really panned out. And funny story about that, I priced the new machines, so my sales rep had actually came in and priced it all out for me, and I told him how I want it built and all this stuff. And he said, "So when you want to pull the trigger?" And I said, "When I find a place to put it." We was eating dinner, and I said, "When we find a place to put it, I'll pull the trigger on the new machine." And he's like, "All right." He said, "Sounds good." Well, when he got home that night, I guess he got to searching around on the internet, and he texted me a sales listing for the place that we have now. He texted it to me, and he said, "I found you the perfect place." And we looked at it, and it was like, that's too much, like too big of an area. You know, I don't want to spend that much money. So we kind of neglected it at first, and then we just kept looking around and just couldn't find anything. And we said, "Well, let's go look at this place." And we come out here, and we was like, this is the place. I mean, this is it. And hindsight's 20/20, you know. We ended up buying this place, and it was really funny because whenever I did order the machine, he had to come down again to check out the area, and I gave him the address, and he showed up. He said, "This looks like that place I had sent you." And I said, "It is."
Yeah.
He said, "So you owe me big time." He said, I got you a new machine and a new place."
Yep.
I was like, yeah, it worked out.
Well, I do have to say, your location there,
it's a little slice of heaven.
The setting, the scenery, is your shop, your house right there and stuff is absolutely stunning, Joey.
No, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous.
I would never leave if I was you.
No.
Well, we rarely do.
Yeah, yep. I mean, you took us for a tour around your property. You took us up by this pond that had this beautiful little setting up there where you could have little parties and whatnot. You got this what is it? That little rope that goes down to the pond,
zip line
and stuff.
Yep.
You got
the zip line.
You got a little diving platform out there on this pond, and then you come up to the shop and you walk in. You got a beautiful entrance to your shop there, and then the machines are in the back. It's very clean. It's very meticulous. Everything's where it needs to be. Your house joins right up next to it. It's just absolutely gorgeous, Joey. What you have there is really, really cool.
I appreciate that.
Yep, it's a heck of a place. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to last January of 2025.
Correct. Yep.
I talked to you a little bit the year before that, just for a little bit, but nothing really materialized out of that. I call you up and asked you if you wanted to come up to the 2025 ATA show,
Indianapolis,
in Indianapolis, and talk about possibly building us a bow. And you come up there, you brought a bow, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, look at this bow!"
And you had it color schemed up to match the
MegaMouth. You did that for a reason. Yeah, you did that for a reason.
No. I built that for a dealer. I didn't do that for a reason.
Oh, I see.
It just happened to be golden black.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm not going to say this dealer didn't give me dealer's choice. You know, he didn't specifically say a color, but I built that for a dealer.
Okay, I got you.
Yep. You know what's funny about that too, Joey? We had that bow in our booth at the ATA in 2025. You brought it up for us to look at.
You and Lance came up there.
Yep. And we had that bow, and you guys were walking around the show, so we just tucked that bow way behind the booth, back behind, because, you know, we weren't selling the bow, obviously.
Right.
So we tucked it behind the booth. Everybody that walked past the booth and came to the booth, they're like, "Oh, what's that little limb I see poking out back there?" We're like, "Geez, we can't keep people away from it."
I know, it was funny.
Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty good. It's like everybody that come by there, of course, they walked into your booth, and then they're looking around, and they see something down there, and th're like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, exactly.
What's this?
Yeah,
You know, everybody's like, "Y'all gonna start building these?" And then, of course, y'all are over here silent, like, this is just a friend's bow sitting here.
Right, yeah. What a ridiculous thing to say, like, "Oh, our friend brought it here. We're just holding it for him at a trade show."
Yeah.
What are we?
Yeah.
Yep. So we talked a little bit at the ATA show. Then we kept talking a little bit in January and stuff like that there into February. What kind of made you decide that you wanted to possibly do a deal like this, Joey? What was your decision? What made you finally realize that you wanted to kind of collaborate with us on this?
Well, I mean, we love what you guys do and what you guys stand for. And, you know, what would be better than working with, you know, one of the top manufacturers for bow fishing products out there? I mean, it's just, why not? You know, it was great for us. It's business for us. It's business for you guys. And the way I see it, it's good for us all. Right. So we wanted to help you guys out, and in turn, it helps us out. So I felt like it was a really good thing to do, especially, you know, getting to know you guys and how you guys are. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that was huge, having you come up to the ATA show. We got to meet each other. I knew you. I called you. I talked to you a little bit before that, but didn't really know you that much. Right. Didn't know much about your family and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, we met each other in passing at tournaments. Yeah. And, you know, we've been to y'all's tournaments, stuff like that, you know, but never really got to know each other.
Right. And it was so fun and exciting on this journey when we came and visited you in June. Yep. And then we came back down there in August. Yep. Literally, when we stopped by you guys in June, we were planning on an hour stop and visit, which turned into 6 hours, a whole day, 7 days almost. Yeah. But it was so awesome to meet you guys and meet Sherry and meet John, your brother, who works with you down there as well. And it just felt like
felt like family.
It did. Yeah. It really did, you know. Yeah. It's like we knew each other forever. Right. And that was really a very cool thing because, you know, AMS is all, you know, family, small business, you know. Made in the USA. Made in the USA here in Wisconsin. And you guys are down there in Kentucky, small family business, your wife and John. So it was just a really cool feel about everything. Yep. And then.
Yeah, and we felt that too, you know. That's one of the reasons why we was really wanting to move forward with it. You know, we felt that same, you know, thing with you guys.
Yeah. It was that passion, you know, it was that passion that was there. And I thank you very much for being patient with us on this because, you know, we wanted, for everybody that doesn't know, you make custom bows for individuals. When they place an order, the bow is built for that individual.
Different colors, tons of different looks. Right. They look sharp. Yes.
But as far as like the draw length and draw weights, everything's built for that individual. Yep. Where we, being more open to the public, we needed something with some adjustabilities and stuff in there. Yep. So we thank you so much for working with us on that and designing this, you know, coming up with a new riser and everything was really cool. And we appreciate your patience with us on that.
Yeah, absolutely. We enjoy that bow as well. You know, we after building it and seeing its capabilities and how well it works. Yeah. You know, we're like, we're gonna have to shoot it too. You know, we're gonna have to play with this around. You know, I even took one of them and made a deer hunting bow out of it, and been shooting it. So yeah, it looks a little different. Of course, we're custom people, so you know we customized it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't look exactly the same, but you know, I built it to my liking, and I've been shooting it. I haven't shot a deer with it yet. My plan was to, but y'all kept us pretty busy during the deer season.
Yeah, I bet we did. We did.
I literally sat in the deer stand twice the entire season, and I'm usually in the deer stand way more.
So, well, with you saying that, I might need to get myself a different archery bow next year. This fall.
Absolutely.
Joey.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Yep. So I got to ask you, Joey, just to expand on that. You know, we had a bunch of custom designs. We worked with you all year long on that Megarex. Did building that Megarex push you creatively or technically in ways that your other builds had not in the past?
Yeah, for sure. Especially fitting it into our day-to-day processing with just 3 of us. Yeah. So it is, for people that don't know, it is literally me, my brother, and my wife that run this business. So it was the biggest challenge for that was fitting it into our day-to-day processes when you're already busy. We had to get really creative with the way we do our day-to-day processing in order to produce enough to meet your guys' deadline and our own.
Right.
So it was tough. It was really tough. But going forward, it was tough getting it to that point. Now we're there. So it's not, it's like our normal day-to-day business is now smoother. So you guys pushed us to that point. So it was golden for us all the way around.
Sure.
You know, our max that we've ever been able to put out was 6 bows in a day. That was when I actually had some other people working for us. So there was 5 of us in here at one time. We got so good at our processing that we no longer have, you know, those other 2. It's just the 3 of us now.
Yep.
And then we added your guys' bows to it. It made us even better.
Wow.
So in the processing part of it, I don't think we'd ever got to that kind of speed and capability without that push. So I think, you know, in turn, you know, this season, you know, our turnarounds will even be faster just because we're able to build them faster by the processing has changed.
Sure. That's very interesting.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yep. That's very interesting. And you know, that tells you when somebody does purchase a bow from you or they purchase a MegaRex, I don't want it to sound funny, but that's an intimate bow. I mean, it's
touched by not many people before it gets in your hands.
Yes.
It is handcrafted, custom built.
Right.
Yeah. There's 3 people that handle that bow, and it's me, my wife, and my brother. You know, every single bow goes through the 3 of us.
And custom.
It's all custom. So whatever the person wants, that's what they get. You know, if we don't have it on our website, call us. We'll try to make it however you want it. But you know, we already get told all the time we have too many options. They can't decide. So
yeah.
I mean, it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, when we were working on this thing, you were explaining or doing your very best, explain stuff to us, and Derek and I are sitting in our office going,
"Holy moly!
Oh my gosh!"
Yep. Which of these 100 options?
If you do this, if you do this, if you do this, if you do this, I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yep.
Yeah. So, we're about pleasing the customer, so whatever they want. Now, of course, there's some things that we can't do, and we'll advise the customer that way. But you know, for the most part, if they want it and we can do it, we'll do it.
You're going to do it. Yeah. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Joey, let me ask you this. Do you view the MegaRex as just another model or as a major chapter in your story as a builder?
I don't think of it as another model. You know, it was intentionally different to hit the market where the market needed to be hit.
Yeah.
So, you know, our personal bows are the ones we build for ourselves. You know, they're shorter tip to tip, a little different design, a little different feel. And, you know, selling bows the amount of time that we've had, we've seen where the market needed to be hit. And, you know, I think you guys seen that too. And that's the reason why we collaborated this in a way that we hit that side of the market where it was more empty, where there was more people that wanted a design like that. So, you know, it was not just another bow. It was intentionally different to hit that part of the market.
Right. Absolutely. Yep.
Yep. So I can't wait to hear the answer to this question.
Yeah.
For everybody that's listening, Joey, that has never shot a lever bow, what makes it different? If they've been shooting compounds their whole life, they see a lever bow, what makes it different? What's the pros as far as shooting a lever bow?
As I would say, aside from just looking badass,
yeah,
you got that smooth draw, easy tuning, no bow press needed, couple Allen wrenches. You could take that bow apart and put it back together. You don't need anything.
Yeah,
you don't have to pay somebody to work on your bow. Just a little bit of research on how to do things, and you can do it all yourself right there. You're basically, you know, you could be on the boat and fix your bow if something goes wrong. Whereas with a wheel bow, it has a few drawbacks in that aspect of it. Let's say you're out shooting silvers in the air, jumping silvers. Sometimes they just jump up into your bow and it rolls your string off the cable or off the cams. And when that happens, what are you going to do? You know, you get 2 or 3 guys together that try to pull that thing together and get the string back on and move on.
Yep.
With a lever bow, that's not going to happen. And even if it did happen, if you got an Allen wrench, you can fix that thing right up.
Right. Yeah.
You know, there's so many advantages, especially for bow fishing, that bow has. I mean, you can change so much and do so much while you're on the water. You don't have to have a bow press. You don't have to have any of that stuff. You can pretty much make a change and just really snappy, just be done with that change in just a minute or so. And you're back to fishing. It's less downtime. Just a lot of different things. They're super smooth bows.
Yep.
They feel really good when you draw them back. You know, to me, you know, it's all about that feel just as much as it is accuracy. If it feels good to you, you're more accurate with it. You know, it's just to me, it's the bow to have.
Yeah, exactly. So from a crowded basement to building bows for shooters across the country, what's the one thing you're most proud of, Joey?
I would probably say it's building everything from scratch.
Yeah.
Very little money, seeing customers happy with our products. And for myself, you know, being able to use our own products to achieve things that, you know, you never thought was possible.
Yeah.
You know, taking your own mind and building something to use as a tool to shoot fish or shoot deer or shoot turkeys. You know, we do that all with our products. And if you'd have asked me years ago if that was possible, I'd been like, no. You know, so that's what I'm proud of. I'm proud of the deer I have mounted, that I shot with my own lever bows, the amount of fish that I've shot, the fun and taking people bow fishing and letting them shoot our bows. And they're like, I gotta have one of these, you know, it just that feeling you get from customers and the happiness from people using our products. I mean,
that's good stuff.
Kind of where I'm at with it.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. Beautifully said.
And, you know, like I said, I don't want to leave out Sherry because your wife, she's a huge part of this, and watching her work down there when we're down there on the machines.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
she's opening them doors up and taking parts out.
She's setting up the bow and going over to that machine and cranking the dials on it and taking stuff out and popping stuff back in the jigs and stuff. And John.
Yeah, nobody's going to take Sherry away from her job. She don't care. She don't care who comes in or who's here or who's doing what. She's focused. She wants to get her job done.
Yep.
So she's gonna make sure she gets her job done and it's done right.
Right.
You know, she's really anal about it.
Yep.
So when it comes to, you know, me, I'm always getting distracted, pulled here or pulled there, you know, so it's you know, somebody come in a shop and of course you want to chit chat and talk with them or whatever, you know, but her just busy bee. She's not caring what's going on. She's going to keep it going.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know,
Joey, how's her cat doing?
I was going to bring that up too.
that little cat that was running around the place. That was I always remember that cat.
I do too. Yeah. So for anybody that has ever watched Austin Powers, Mr. Bigglesworth, I think it was the name of his cat.
Okay.
It's a hairless cat. It doesn't have any hair in it. It's just skin.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, this skinless cat is walking around
hairless. It has skin.
Yeah, it has skin. This hairless cat is walking around the shop there.
Jumps right up on your shoulders. Yep. Looks into your soul.
Yeah, you got them big eyes.
Yeah. She loves hair and beard. I think it's because she don't have any hair. So if you got a beard, look out, because she's about to jump up on you and rub on that beard. Like, she loves it. She's a wildcat. Like, seriously, a wildcat. She's gonna do whatever she wants, whenever she wants, and you ain't gonna stop her.
Right.
I mean, you gotta watch your back. She's not a mean cat, but if she wants up on your back and you're a tall guy, get ready, because the claws are about to be in the back, and she's gonna crawl up there.
Yep. I
remember the look on your eyes where you're like, Matt, get this cat off my back. It's scratching into my back.
And then you started to lift the cat off me, and claws go down. Yeah. What's her name, Joey?
Yeah.
What's the cat's name?
Nova.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. My daughter named her. Me and my daughter got it for my wife, and my daughter's like, I think I know a name for her, and she named her Nova.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
And then we also, I mean, we can't forget your brother John.
Oh yeah.
John is the one we tell everybody when they're looking at these. Everyone is different.
Yep.
Because of the splat and the paint on that. And your brother John is the one who does a lot of that work also, Joey.
Yeah, he's very creative.
Yes.
So he does all the paint work and the design as far as, different color schemes and stuff like that. He's done all kinds of different crazy stuff. People will be asking for something completely ridiculous, and John's like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
It's just like, he's got a mindset for it. I'm over here like, I don't know how that's even possible. And he's over here like, yeah, I can do that.
That's cool.
So
when we went back in to watch him,
his little dungeon,
it was like a mad scientist room.
Yep.
The steam was coming out of the water and stuff was bubbling, and there was different colors in these boxes, and he had stuff hanging from the racks and stuff. And there he is. He's down there flicking paint on his riser and stuff, and then dipping into this
boiling
potion.
liquid. Yeah, potion. Yeah. Yep.
I never thought of it that way, but now that you bring it up, mad scientist, that's exactly what it is.
John the mad scientist.
When you walk in there, you walk into the lab. That's what that is.
Yeah.
It's definitely what it is.
Yep.
You don't know what's going on. You're like, can I touch that? Nope. It's definitely mad scientist for you. You walk in there.
Or maybe we should call him John the paint scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna stick with mad.
Okay.
It looks mad with all that stuff going on in there.
It does. But boy, I mean,
mad.
Watching what he was doing back there, and watching the colors just start popping when he would put it in this solution and then bring it to this other solution.
And then that one of my favorite clips that we got in August when we were down there was him rinsing. He took that faucet and rinsed off the black, and that black would expose the gold underneath. It was like, oh my gosh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Really it's
cool.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if he ever went anywhere else, I'd be lost, because I have no clue how he does it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know what he does. Like, I'll be just wanting to paint something for myself for a truck or something. I'll be like, hey, how do I do this? And he'll have to explain it to me. I'm like,
right.
Yeah, I'll just wait for you to get back Monday.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's definitely got it down.
That's cool stuff. Well, Joey, we know that you're very busy. You probably have a bunch of bows that you have to give out to individuals here, and we just wanted to thank you for taking the time to join us here on the Bowfishing Buzz podcast. Talk about your journey.
Yeah.
From being a young kid at 6 to 10, to now 46, and what you have brought to the bow fishing community is something special. I love it because it's your wife and your brother that are doing this all together. American made right in Kentucky. I think it's awesome. And I'm so glad that we joined and made this little opportunity for other bow fishers to appreciate your bows and get them in your hands. And if we do need some more bows for next year, we'll promise to get you a little bit of a heads up this time, so you're not working 24/7 at the end of the month and at the end of the year.
Yeah. As long as I get the bow hunt this year, I'll be good.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
That's right. So, Joey, thank you again so much for joining us here. It was great listening to your story here, and we appreciate that, man.
Yeah, thank you for everything, Joey.
Absolutely, and you guys keep doing what you do, because you're doing a good job.
We appreciate it, man. We'll keep in touch and say hi to everybody, and you take care, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. See you guys.
We'll see you, Joey.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There we go.
That's just
That just makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
It does, because I don't think Joey gets the appreciation that he really deserves for what he.
Well, and he even said he doesn't advertise. He's as busy as he wants to be. He's never worked with a large company like us before.
Right.
Us being able to forge that relationship with him, it's been really special. It does feel like family. It feels like he's an extension of the people that we have here. It feels like he's just another member of the family.
And Joey is one of the individuals or person that come into your life that you're like, man, I wish I lived closer.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't live 10 hours away from him.
Right.
I wish I could live like an hour away and I could say, hey, Joey, can you make me something, or can you help me fix this?
Yeah, let's go shoot some fish tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So really cool stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that he was on.
Absolutely. The birth of the Mega Rex.
Absolutely.
Joey Greenwell. Mm-hmm. And just may I add, the name for the bow was so easy and simple.
Boom. I know, to add the.
Oh, first off, I'm a big dinosaur fan.
That you are.
I love me some Jurassic Park.
You've got Lego dinosaurs in your office.
I do. I've got a Triceratops, a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and another Tyrannosaur. I don't want people to think that these are like 4-year-old Legos. They're like advanced Legos, and I have them on display in my office.
He's trying to make up for that right there, buddy.
They're cool looking. They're cool looking. But yeah, G-Rex, MegaMouth, boom, Mega Rex.
I know.
Done. Boom. That was the for everybody that does not work in the manufacturing business, like as far as naming products.
It
is so difficult, just because simply for the fact that everything's been named. Everything's been trademarked. There's a reason some of these bigger bow brands come out with a bow, and the bow is called the ZR2X17. It's because they're just throwing, it might stand for something within the bow, but then it's not something that somebody's called something in the archery industry before. Mm-hmm. So that name being available, that name perfectly encapsulating the relationship, that was really cool.
And we did that on purpose. We wanted to keep Joey's Rex.
Yes.
Part of that.
Yep. And everybody too, we've had people say, I recognize that. We posted a teaser video before we released the bow, maybe October, November, and it was a sticker that said Mega Rex.
Right.
And people recognized the font because it's Joey's same font that he has on his G-Rex bows. Yep. So we wanted to keep that streamlined.
Exactly. All right, ready, Schmidty?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Oh.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Get ready for a fish that you wish. This fish comes to us from the state that is the lightning capital of the world. Suntan lotion was invented in the state in 1944, and this state has more golf courses than any other place in the country.
Florida?
Take a guess, Schmitty.
Florida?
I'm talking the Sunshine State of Florida.
Let's go, baby. 1 for 1. 1 for 1.
This fish was shot March 12, 2017 by Matt Bruce. With a length of 37 inches, this cow-nose ray slipped the scales at 49.7 pounds, making it the BAA Florida State record. And that's a fish you wish you shot.
Wow. I think that's the first time I've guessed the state right,
I think
Matthew.
you did one other time.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yep. Now.
Oh, okay.
The reason I bring this up, Schmitty,
is
because our last guest, Chris Lee.
Yep.
Chris Lee's story.
Casey Lee.
Him and his teammates just arrived this morning down in Florida.
Oh, really?
Yep, for some exciting bow fishing down there for some commons and stingrays.
Oh.
So maybe they can get a crack at this record.
Maybe. Wouldn't that be cool? Predicting the future.
After they get done bow fishing down there for a couple of days, they're going to head up to Kentucky and bow fish with our good buddy Lance Bradley.
Oh, my. Well, they have a beautiful week scheduled here. I'm jealous.
Good luck to those guys.
Oh, yeah. Send us some pictures.
Safe travels. Send us some pictures. He already sent me a video this morning. He had the Bowfishing Buzz t-shirt on.
Oh, I love it. Good deal.
Yeah. Yep. So from the Omni Bubble Gut Schmitty, holy cow, that just cranked my eardrums.
You say we had that volume turned up, didn't we?
Wow. So from the Omni Bubble Gut to the Big 20 changes.
To the Mega Rex. Birth of the Mega Rex with Joey.
Cranky the cart making.
Wow, this was an action-packed episode. Oh,
wow. Don't forget, everybody, AMS Big 20 pre-registration starts March 7th.
Yes.
10 a.m. Central Standard Time. You will go to the AMS Bowfishing website. There will be links up there. There'll be a couple different spots we can click on to get on there.
Yep.
Free T-shirts to your team by April 20th.
Yep.
April 20th is cut off for the free T-shirts.
Yep. You'll get them when you pre-register. You'll be able to put in information. You'll get a free T-shirt upon arrival.
Don't forget to put in the sizes because sometimes guys change teammates throughout the season.
Sure.
And then that large shirt isn't big enough for the guy that needs a 2X.
Yep.
So make sure you get the T-shirt sizes correct on that right there.
Yep.
And you want to pre-register because it's $300, Schmitty.
Correct.
What is the registration the day of the tournament if you do not pre-register your teams?
On-site registration is $400.
Yes.
Pre-register, guys. You'll save some money. Easier for everybody to get it set up.
And you can still pre-register all the way up till tournament day at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Correct.
You just will not get that free T-shirt.
Correct. Yep. Yep.
So from all of us here at AMS Bowfishing and
MegaMouth Bowfishing as well,
we wish you the best of luck. And remember, aim low.
Think big. Thanks for listening, guys.